Good morning to everybody joining in this morning. My name is Giza. I'll be doing the presentation for the KWIKOT electric water heater installation and warranty presented by Electrolux. So, electric water heater installation requirements. Now, the installation of electric water heater must be done in accordance, obviously, with the SANS national requirements. We've also got a few requirements on installation, meaning the manufacturer requirements as stated in the installation and warranty manual, and all other relevant standards as to which kind of product, energy efficiency, and so forth being set out by all regulating bodies. National installation requirements for electric water heater, SANS 10254. The installation, maintenance, replacement, and repair of fixed electric storage water heater systems. And then also SANS 10252, Part 1, water supply and drainage for buildings, water supply installations for buildings. And SANS 10142, Part 1, low voltage installations. And just whilst I'm on this point, a lot of the regulations regarding the electrical connections and those kind of things needs to really be taken seriously, especially on the bonding sections. We see a lot of installations still not being bonded properly, but we'll go further into this presentation. All other reference scopes, SANS 151, fixed electric storage water heaters. So all cross references needs to be taken into account. And then the national requirements on solar installations, obviously 10.10.6, 10252, so all applicable. SANS 10142 Part 1, again, electrical connections and all other reference scopes. Okay, the warranty and installation manual. Now, the main purpose of this manual that we supply with the product as set out, we need to supply the client with a manual on how to maintain the cylinder. So to the installer, the installation requirements for the warranty purpose. So we tell you how the geyser must be installed, what is required, and you as the installer, obviously putting yourself out as a competent person for the installation, will hand this to the client. The client, it's the instructions and information required for the operation and maintenance of the water heater, so meaning the anode service, the required components on the installation, and then obviously having the details of the cylinder, your details as the installer being handed over to the client. And to us as a manufacturer, this is just to say that you have met the requirements, you have been advised, your clients have been advised regarding what's required on the installation, and have these requirements been met. So the warranty manual is quite an important document and also a legal binding document that you hand over to the client. Right, this is a few snips from our warranty booklet, just the front page and obviously containing the installer's details. And it says here on this, if you look at it, the above mentioned installer confirmed that the KWIKOT electric water heater installation carried out by myself complies with SANS 10254 specifications. So you sign off on this with the Giza details and obviously your company's details who did the installation for the client. Now this is vital as well. First of all, the client's already got the details for the Giza should the warranty claim arise. The client doesn't need to get anybody out to get into a roof in order to get the actual details to assist. Warranty and installation manual. Now, I took a summary out of our warranty installation manual, and it says here, it's the installer's responsibility to meet the installation requirements. All right, so you tell the client that you've done it in accordance with regulation and with the manufacturer requirement. The warranty is calculated from the manufacture date on the sticker or the date of installation. So let's say the geyser was on the shelf for 4 months and you can provide us with a plumbing invoice to say, I only installed the geyser on this date, then we are willing to work from the date of installation. The replacement geyser warranty. And this is an important thing where many clients are not aware of and has not been explained in advance to them as well upon fitment, is that the replacement geyser, we do not offer you a new warranty. In fact, you get the remaining balance of the original geyser's warranty for which the client has paid for. All right. And then also water quality is also another important point, is as set out in our terms and conditions as well, it's subject to municipal supply. Yes, boil water, we will still honor the warranty. All we ask is that you furnish us with a document to say at least you've conducted an annual service on the water heater. And then other key manufacturing installation requirements. We'll get into that further on the next slide. And product warranty periods. Obviously, we've got different products in the market carrying different kinds of warranties. We used to have a 3, 5, 7. Mainstream is the 5-year warranty in market. And then below is a few of the incorrect installation. Giza that's been wall mounted in the horizontal position. The brackets have not been changed to the alternate mounting position. And then the remanufactured pressure control valve. And the Giza not secured on the right and far right. Not secured at all. The positioning of the Giza is incorrect. Not a safe installation at all. Right. Now this is page 1 of our warranty booklet. I just highlighted some points. And this is important, once again, to make sure that the installer, as you read, the Electrolux makes no warranty presentations in respect of the installation of the water heaters. Claims in respect of the installation of the electric water heater must be referred to the applicable installer. So that means you as the plumber who did the installation for the client, who shall solely be liable under installation warranty scheme. Meaning make sure that the Giza installation is 100% compliant. In the event where it isn't as set out, you'll need to give the client written notice to say, listen here, as per the regulation on my COC, these are the points of non-compliance. At the bottom of the page, you can see the warranties on the products, thermostats, elements, drain cock, safety valves. So that will give the client a clear indication as to which component is still under warranty, should there be any claim that she would like to submit for an error that arises. Warranty and installation manual. Genuine KWIKOT branded products to be used. Meaning KWIKOT safety valve on the Giza. Do not extend safety valves. We get that a lot in the market where the probe is not actually submerged in the cylinder. Cross-fitting of components. Yes, if it is long enough, the probe fitted, but we prefer genuine KWIKOT branded products as set out. Vital. Installation to be done in accordance with the SANS 10254 regulations. Here's an important thing. Repairs to be done only by Electrolux or authorized agents. If the Giza is on the warranty, please do not tamper with the product in any way. Do not remove it from installation. I know a lot of times a client will force you to remove the Giza, rather log a call and make the client aware prior to fitment, please. And then servicing and replacement of the anode is an important thing to have protection inside the cylinder. Make sure that this is carried over to the client. A lot of clients are not aware in the market that the Giza actually needs to be serviced. A lot of clients we speak to as well, the Giza, that's vital. The anode on a 1 to 3 year interval, depending on the ppm parts per million. Okay, and then the KWIKOT installation kit. Also another important thing when you do heat pump or any retrofitting connections to the Gizas, make sure that you use the genuine parts on the cylinder, please. And not just be out in the middle of a pipe somewhere. Do it in accordance with what is required on the installation and for the product warranties. And then Giza to be accessible for maintenance and repair. Now, this is a sticky one at this stage. I know a lot of previous existing issues where buildings do not accommodate this. We do understand, but then also we ask for a COC where this is all stipulated, reasons why you can't. And remember, the Giza needs to be maintained. So the 300 at the back and the 450 millimeter spacing in the front of the cylinder is vital to conduct services on the cylinder for element changes and anodes. And in a lot of instances, this cannot be adhered to. We are aware of it, but then we also need to be informed via a COC. Right, there's the points I just brought up. There it says in the warranty booklet that for optimum performance by using genuine Electrolux KWIKOT brand parts, elements and thermostat, should these parts be replaced with non-genuine Electrolux or KWIKOT brand while the electric water is still under warranty and there's a premature failure or the Giza is removed from installation, the warranty will not be honored. And like I said, vital, make sure that the installation is not altered or changed in any way, or any products removed whilst the geyser is under warranty. If the electric components, let's say the geyser is within the 30 of its warranty, components fail, obviously you as any plumber out in the market, you are allowed to come and change components. And then the electric water heater is fitted with the anode as discussed. There you can see it in the warranty booklet. And there's the PPM, and that's important, where it tells you the service intervals for the geysers. So make sure that you make yourself aware of this. Right. Plumbing requirements. So once you've done the installation, make sure that you've flushed the cold water line prior to installation, install the geyser, test the installation. TP valve and drain cock supplied with the geyser, make sure that they are installed in the correct positions, not swapped around or on the renewable ports. Check the pressure rating of the valve, and this is a vital one. The pressure rating of the valve. We get a lot of installations where there's a 600 kPa valve on a 400 kPa geyser. The geyser tag is color-coded, it is red, it states on it, it's 400 kPa. Please check the valve. I know it's been installed before. You maybe just go and change the geyser. Please check the whole installation and not partial. Vital. Right. Then the TP overflow pipe must be self-draining. It mustn't be threaded at the ends and must be open to the atmosphere. So make sure that it doesn't run at a 90-degree vertical riser. That we get a lot in the market. Make sure that you do finish the client with the COC with non-compliances. Should you not be able to do it where it's in the middle of a building, make sure that the client has been informed, and that when we get there for a warranty claim that we've got a COC of non-compliance for a pre-existing condition, please note it down. And then here we get to the unobstructed access, the 300 and 450 millimeter requirements, which is, like I said, it's vital. Electrical requirements, isolate the electrical supply, both on the DB board, isolated before taking on any installation. Make sure that you are safe as the installer. Check that the circuit breaker has the correct amperage. Also, another important thing is pointless having a 200-liter geyser installed with a 10-amp circuit breaker. It does happen. Client wants to increase the volume or capacity of the cylinder. Client's got a 10 and we get a warranty call, which is actually not warranty related. So please check that. And isolate the switch to be installed at the geyser. And the geyser must be earthed. That is a very important point. A lot of geysers we get to not bonded at all, not bonded correctly as set out in the regulations. Use the copper strip, not just a thin piece of wire hanging around loose in the roof. Do it correctly as per the requirements, please. Here is the geyser installation as required. As you can see, there is the RR port, renewable port for your return from a solar heat pump. And obviously in conjunction, if you want to add a solar heat pump, you'll just use the combination drain cock on the front cold inlet connection. Basic installation specifications. Now, a lot of plumbers also ask regarding the position of the pressure control valve. Now, most of the instances, we find that the pressure control valve is right at the geyser where the T is going down into the drain cock. Please space it a bit further away, some absorption, some heat loss through the pipe before it gets to the pressure control valve. Sometimes we get that the pipe rising up there is quite hot, especially on unbalanced installations where the pressure vary more than 20% on installations. We get non-return loss. So yeah, give it a bit of space between the inlet and where the actual position of the pressure control valve is, and try and put it over the tray. So should there be a leak on a nut or anything, at least there's no sealing damage to the client's property if it's installed inside. This is what we've discussed now. This is just the full warranty page. Regarding the plumbing, regarding the electrical, giving you a detailed explanation of what is required, the type of lagging to be used around the pipework, around the geyser, and the R1 value is important, as that's the spec. And then again, it's your access, your heating cycles, checking for leaks. And then getting back to the electrical as well, tells you the actual sizing for which rated kilowatt of element you're using. And then all the bolts that needs to be used, the bolt insulator to be placed after the element replacement, the electrical connection on a 400 and 600 dual. Right. Here is the installing details, completion of your installation again, as per the first picture. Remember to do this, please. Okay, here's the warranty void guide summary. So these are just a few points we are looking at when a warranty claim is submitted to us. And then just to make sure that the regulations have been followed and also the manufacturer requirements have been followed through on. So no serial plate or serial plate tampered with. Now, we're getting cases where a plumber goes to a client, pulls off the serial tag, hands it to the client. Not acceptable. Do not tamper with it, rather take a photo if the client would like a picture of it, or the client should have the warranty booklet, as we said now, with the details already in it. So there is no reason to pull a serial plate off a cylinder. All right, if it's faded or unreachable, once again, proof of installation must be furnished to us in order to validate the warranty. Then IPX1 Gizas, the new Gizas, IPX4 can be installed outside. IPX1 Gizas only for internal installation, mainly like the 450 liter Gizas, must be covered, not exposed to the elements. And then if a Giza is tampered with, so let's say a client used silicone to seal the gasket, not acceptable. Do not tamper with it in any way. If the Giza has been tampered with, repairs or replacements may only be done by Electrolux or our authorized contractors after we've given the authority and the actual job card to go and attend. So any attempted self-repair, Gizas being cut open, flanges being sealed with silicone, any putty or type of cement used on outlets where it's leaking, not acceptable. Do not tamper with the product, please. Element burnt out or dry burn. Now, this is quite a good point, and I'm going to get stuck on this one a bit. We get a lot of calls where you as installer filled the geyser, you know you didn't switch it on prematurely, the element is dry burnt. We get there. Test the installation upon completion. Make sure that the 300 minimum, remember it's a recommendation is 300 millimeters. Test the installation. No installation is the same as the other. So upon completion, isolate the water supply, test and see if the geyser is draining if you open the cold water. We get a lot of calls where we get to a client geyser and been installed 4 days ago, get the element is dry burnt, operated without any water present. I can't say that it was switched on prematurely, but I know the only way you can dry burn an element, it's not submerged. So check it, make sure that the vacuum breaker height is sufficient on the installation in order to stop any back siphonage from the cylinder if the water supply is interrupted. Very, very crucial point there. Geyser removed from installation. Do not remove a geyser from installation. Once it's installed, it's under warranty. It becomes the manufacturer's responsibility, providing that installation has been done correctly in terms of SANS 10254. Do not alter the installation. And please, if you want to make the geyser installation safe for the client, do not cut any pipes. Stop it where it fits onto the drain cock. Stop it where it comes out the hot water outlet. That's how you make a geyser safe, so we can reconnect, test, and confirm. Where there's insufficient access to repair or replace faulty items, the geyser must be accessible and it must be done at the client's cost. We will not provide access at any means. If it's a tiled roof, that's the only exclusion that we are willing to look at. If it's a standard tiled roof, no zinc roofs, no cupboards will be unscrewed or removed in order to gain access to a geyser. Geyser must be easily accessible and maintainable. No pressure control valve fitted, all right, or no expansion relief. It's a requirement. So if you're feeding from a booster pump, at least I know the pressure is regulated from the booster pump, just put in an expansion relief from the cold supply. We are willing to accept. Also, a stopcock, NRV, non-return valve, any flow control device, or any one directional device installed between the geyser and a pressure control valve will not be accepted. We will still accept a lever ball valve as there's no directional point through it, but any other flow control device will not be accepted between a geyser and a pressure control valve, providing if you've got a water meter, for instance, let's say you've got a pressure control valve downstairs, you've got a water meter installed after the pressure control valve, we will still require an additional expansion relief valve installed thereafter. So if you would like a stopcock at the geyser, but the pressure control valve is outside, all we are requesting is that you put an additional expansion relief after the stopcock, please, to have it compliant, and we will accept. Right, no safety valve. Make sure that there's a safety valve on the Giza. We had a few where it's blanked off on the safety valve connection. Quite shocking, but yes, please check this. No vacuum breakers on a leaking Giza. All right, now we will replace the Giza for the client, but we will also furnish the client with a government gazette stating the non-compliance and also state that future warranties may be voided if this is not adhered to. Obviously, the client will not qualify for any electrical warranty on the product due to the fact that there's no vacuum breaker installed. And then Giza wall mounted and mounting brackets not changed. Now, this is a daily fight in the market where plumbers buy or installers buy Gizas, fit them against the wall in a horizontal position as we supply them and not changing the feet to the 90-degree alternate mounting position. Please take note of this. This is required, obviously, by mounting it in the standard position as we supply the Giza. The element will be subject to dry burn. In most instances, it damages the gasket on the cylinder, causing it to leak. And this is just a mere oversight, but please check it. Please check it. Make sure that the Giza is installed in the correct position, as we also make a recommendation in our warranty booklet. Remanufactured pressure control valves. We do not accept remanufactured pressure control valves. We want SABS approved products to be used on the installation. KWIKOT will not honor a warranty if there's a remanufactured pressure control valve. So please, if you're doing installation for insurance and you just have to replace the cylinder, please do take the effort of checking the valve as well and make the recommendation to the appointed company that appointed you as the installer to say, listen here, this is a requirement for this client. We need to replace the valve in order for the client to qualify for the warranty. And then 200 and 250 liter unit wall mounted without special, we do not recommend in any case a 250 liter to be wall mounted in any instance. There is a floor stand for a 250 liter. 200 liters, yes, we still accept, providing that there's an additional support under the cylinder. So the Giza can still be mounted against the wall, additional L-shaped brackets as a support under the Giza. Make sure that this is done. Then plastic pipes, galvanized pipes fitted onto the Giza, union type Connex fittings. Important. We get a lot of Gizas where solder fittings have been used directly onto the cylinder, not union type fittings. Now, obviously, it needs to be debrazed and so forth. We require union type fittings for connections for ease of maintenance purposes as well. Galvanized fittings, we do not accept on the Giza, on the threads. We do not want any galvanized on the Giza. Make sure that you use brass connections onto the cylinder. All right. And if there's any multi-layer pipes, make sure that you use copper at least 700 millimeters away from the outlet side and connecting onto the Giza on the cold water side. Like I said, the drain cloth is a union fitting, so there shouldn't be any problem there. Right, a bit of prismas, it's to be wall mounted. We supply it with a bracket. If it lies flat on its back and there's no hot water, we can still look at it. But there will be no electrical warranty that will be charged to the client or to the referred back to the applicable installer, and the government gazette notice will be issued to the client to make him aware of this problem or the incorrect installation. And also take note that it needs to be installed with a vented mixer that's open to the atmosphere. Right, here's just that we use in the office, more or less just a summary of what we use, what we look at dry burn. This is a guide that we give to our technicians and some of our agents as well. What to look at, we look at bonding. I'm not going to go into too much detail. These are based on the guidelines of the SANS regulations and also the manufacturer regulations, which we've reviewed. And then the conclusion, all installations are to be done in accordance with the relevant national standards and ought to meet the manufacturer's requirement. Any non-compliance must be given to the client in writing, and the end user or consumer safety must be regarded as higher priority. So at the end of the day, you as a qualified installer, first thing you take into account is this a safe installation for me to do? And secondly, is this a safe installation the way I'm going to do it for my client?